And my office. Here's my office here. Here we are. Come on in, won't you?
From the offices of a new game studio.
And this is our test department. Very exciting. Hello, testers.
You know, everybody wants to start their own company eventually.
An industry legend.
This is the exciting manner in which I work at my desk.
Tim certainly does not follow the herd. He goes his own way for good or ill. That's something that I admire.
And his team of talented game developers.
I'm an environment artist.
I'm the animation supervisor. I'm an animator, and I'm the lead game tester.
I am the orderly, and I run a quiet, peaceful, insane asylum.
Will race the clock to ship their very first game.
We put Bruce here because we were always battling against time.
We've been working on the game for 3.5 years.
This is one of the worst crunches I've ever seen. Sort of appalling.
We decided at the very last minute to actually test it.
This is the story of Tim Schafer and the final week of Psychonauts.
What could possibly go wrong? Hello, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, Double Fine. Please, everyone is welcome at Double Fine. We've been here about a year and a half. We moved over one block nicer, one block fancier. Here's our production area. Hello, everybody. Say hi. That's Kelly and Melina. That's Carolyn, our executive producer. Hey, hello.
I'm executive producer. I'm kind of the acting production person. I do just about everything the company needs to allow Tim to be 100% creative as much as possible.
Here's our art department. It's Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Playing the game, excellent game, Psychonauts, right now. Scott Campbell, our art director. This is the camera.
I draw stuff and show Tim, and it's like a long process of like him liking it or not liking it or kind of liking it.
What are you making it? So who's that character? Okay, so anyway. Here's our gameplay programming department. Hello, gameplay programmers. So hello.
This week, Tim Schafer and his team of game developers are putting finishing touches on their first game, Psychonauts.
We've been working on the game for 3.5 years. A lot of the animation's been done for quite a while.
This is our last week of working on Psychonauts.
I think this week is this Friday night is the last build. We just have to have this done, CD, and so this is the final build. So this week is the last bit of time we have to touch it.
Game developers call this
Crunch mode is in the very, very last phases of the game, and it's basically you just want to put as many hours into the game and to test it.
We've done everything creatively we're going to do to the game. Those are good. That's too low. Oh my god, that's terrible.
Man, you can't ship it that
They would return the game if they saw that. And now we just have to play it for a certain amount of time and make sure no new bugs come up. So it can't crash, it can't slow down, nothing really bad can happen. Lies. We can't write any more dialogue or add any more ideas to it, but we can definitely make sure it's not going to crash or anything.
We are going to be testing at least probably 12 hours a day, trying to find any last showstoppers, any bugs that we can't ship.
And you can't punch it all?
The goal is to have everyone playing through the game. There's a team of over 40 people. All of us and all of Majesco's resources are getting through the entire game, so making sure the game is ready to go out.
What happens if it's not done by Friday? Ooh, I don't know.
We're screwed. Yeah. What could possibly go wrong? No. I can't punch.
Tim Schafer's first taste of gaming happens when the Magnavox Odyssey is released in 1972.
Way back when I was a kid, my dad brought home Odyssey 1, which was the black and white variations of Pong.
He quickly becomes one of the world's first hardcore gamers.
Ever since then, I was hooked on games. And then we got our Atari 2600. Yeah, and went from there to Atari computers, and I got a 400 and an 800, and then I spent all my teenage years at home toiling over that computer in the rec room of our house, scaring my whole family.
And like many gamers of his time, Tim Schafer begins creating his own games.
I started as best I could to actually make them myself when I had the computer, although my efforts were really unspectacular. In BASIC, I tried to do a Pong in BASIC, and it was really slow. So I tried to do Galaxian in assembly language, and I just realized I wasn't really smart enough to do that. So I had this one game about a helicopter that was dropping babies, and you had to catch them. I got pretty far with that one.
But when he attends college at UC Berkeley, Shafer tries to be more realistic about his future.
I never really thought that games were what I was going to end up doing. So as I went to college, I did more computer classes, and I started to drift into writing. I was going to be a writer who had a really boring computer programming database job during the day and write at night.
He really is a really smart guy, a really funny guy, satirical.
Off the top of my head, the first funny game I remember was Leisure Suit Larry or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I guess Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy came out first.
You can really tell that he has an opinion on everything.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else funny in games ever.
And he's not afraid to tell you about it.
I think it was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. No, that can't be right.
Sometimes in a world where everybody seems to kind of be afraid to say what they think or do what they think or follow the herd.
Oh, yeah. Anything funny before Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Tim certainly does not follow the herd. He goes his own way.
Yeah, I would say the first humor in games I remember was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
And that's something that I admire.
But it turns out that fate has a different plan for Tim Shafer.
I graduated, and I was on my second interview at this database company, and right then I saw this job listing at LucasArts, which was then called Lucasfilm Games. It was even more kind of glamorous and appealing. And I loved the first Lucasfilm games, like Rescue on Fractalus and Ball Blazer. But a friend of mine had slipped me a pirated copy of it, so I called it Ball Blaster during my interview. I was like, yeah, I really like your game Ball Blaster. And they're like, Ball Blaster, huh? That's what it was called when it was pirated. So I don't know how I got that job, but somehow I got that job.
Now, with his foot in the door, Shafer will take his first step into gaming history.
At a unique summer camp.
Don't you train Psychonauts here?
One cadet must stop an evil genius from leaving the world brainless. One of our favorite games ever, says official Xbox magazine.
In other words, Psychonauts!
Rated T for teen.
And let's see if we can get to 0 bugs by dinner. All right, we're good.
It looks like we should be able to get done what's on the list by dinner. Is that what you're saying? By dinner.
Food dependent, yeah.
Only I get to eat. Whoa. Yeah, so we're going to lock down, and it's got to fit a very strict set of rules. Did I make that clear? We're going to fix all the bugs on the list.
Got a short list of bugs. We made it even shorter is what's due by dinner. It definitely looks doable, and we're setting dinner as our lockdown. So after dinner, everyone's got a controller in their hand, everyone's playing the game, and they'll test it straight through till Friday. So we are in lockdown after dinner night. Yeah. Any questions?
What's for dinner tonight?
I don't know. Kelly, what's for dinner tonight? What do you want for dinner?
Indian food.
Okay, that's the biggest concern. I think we're done.
As Tim Shafer takes his first baby steps in the gaming industry, he finds he has some catching up to do.
The job description that I applied for was called assistant designer / programmer. And then I found out once we got there that they were actually called scumlets, which was the lowest rung on the programming totem pole there. That we were just the junior programmers who used Scum, which was the script creation utility for Maniac Mansion.
The rookie game developer quickly starts making new friends.
They had nothing for us to do for like 3 months. It was all up to just whatever we'd come up with each day to try to learn the language. And Dave Grossman and I came up with a lot of just joke stuff.
Which then leads to his first project.
It turns out Ron Gilbert was starting his Monkey Island game. And he was like, okay, I want it to be kind of maybe a comedy game. So they took me and Dave and set us to work on it.
Tim was one of those guys who was just a hard-working scripter for the Scum games. But he was just this really fun guy who could tell great stories, and he was just quick-witted, you know? He'd say anything. He's got a comeback for you. He was one of those people that you could tell was going to just drive, you know, some amazing creative visions.
We started working on the Monkey Island game, and Ron had the design in his head, and there was some flowcharts, and there was some background art. We started just to get the thing up and running, throwing in characters and just making them say dumb things that we thought was funny. And we were all four of the original Scumlets in this room, and we would just write dialogue that would crack us up.
Tim Shafer is hilarious in real life. All his observations, his whole way of viewing the world is just kind of like a little twisted. Just definitely funny.
You know, every afternoon, Ron would come in maybe, and he'd check out the new dialogue we had written. And we didn't think it was actual game dialogue. We just thought we were writing stuff to entertain each other. And it turns out he's like, no, we're using this. This is it. This is the game. Ron would come in the afternoon. He'd either laugh or not, and that was like a big deal. He was really involved in the game. Me, I would do a third of it, Dave would do a third of it, and Ron would do a third of it on the first game. Programming and writing dialogue.
Tim Shafer and his coworkers come up with a storyline about a wannabe swashbuckler named Guybrush Threepwood and his quest to become a mighty pirate.
Your favorite moments in the Monkey Island games were largely a result of Tim's hard work and cleverness. It was really inspiring to be working with someone having just as much fun.
In 1990, development on The Secret of Monkey Island wraps up, and Lucasfilm Games releases the quirky new adventure game for the PC. But its launch hits a small snag.
LucasArts was a small company then, and right at the end of it, they found out that there was a big order that they could fill, but they didn't have the manufacturing capacity to do it. It was like, hey, let's all go down to the factory and pack it ourselves. And we all put everyone in the car, and we drove down to this warehouse, and we all went in there, and we were all putting manuals together, and we were all just stuffing boxes and shrink wrapping them. So the original Monkey Island shipment was done by the programmers and the artists and all of us in the company. With love, yeah.
As copies of The Secret of Monkey Island head out to stores all over America, Tim Shafer and his coworkers leave the fate of their careers in the hands of gamers.
Hi, can I place an order for delivery? This is Kylie at Double Fine. I'd like to get 2 orders of chicken curry, 3 orders of macaron mushroom, 6 orders of sag paneer, 7 orders of chicken tikka masala. Yeah, and can we get it made extra spicy? And then I'd like to get 25 orders of naan, 3 orders of samosa, and 2 cucumber salads. Kelly? Yeah. Hello? Where'd he go? Oh man, I just got disconnected.
You said earlier that you guys were going to wait to have dinner until all the bugs were fixed.
Yeah, but then we'd starve the team. I kind of cheated. I added some bugs to the lockdown list. This is doable tonight. So I think we'll finish this before we go home tonight. Late. Late. Probably go after midnight. That was pretty important. And we'll do whatever we need. We will cater in food. We'll bring in massage therapists and we'll liquor them up. And bring in sugar. That makes people happy.
Oh, I'm so not gonna win against the girl.
During crunch time, it's common for developers to work 12-hour shifts. At Double Fine, it's no different.
The game itself motivates the team. They're motivated first and foremost by pride in their work. Tim motivates people as well. When he sees something cool and unique, he tells them.
Nice. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Okay, that's 1 bug.
That makes people happy.
Well, it's 8:44. Yep, leaving for the night. I feel a little bit bad because the other programmers are still there and they're still working. If you've already put in a 12-hour day, then you have to take care of your body. There's a lot of sick people here, and it's not surprising.
Am I tired? Kinda. We've been crunching for quite a while. It helps to know that this is our last week.
I work about 80 hours a week, or I have been. This is like the most unglamorous part of my job. And it's not necessarily a requirement. There's just so much miscellaneous shit. Just, sorry, don't worry about it. So much stuff that they just throw at me to do. We gotta keep the team caffeinated so they'll stay up all night. Check it out.
I'm a caffeine addict. I'll take the habit once the game's over, I guess.
The 1990 release of Monkey Island is a huge success for Lucasfilm Games.
One of the hardest things to do in a game is get humor across, because as the game creator, you can't control the pace of the game. So much humor depends on pacing. And so the fact that the Monkey Island series is just hilarious, like it's just a testament to the skill of the designers.
And just like in Hollywood, a sequel starts right away.
After Monkey Island 1, we started making LeChuck's Revenge right away.
Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge, is an even bigger hit than the original. Its success gives Shafer and Dave Grossman a chance to finally head up their own game.
They told Dave and I that we could do our own game. Ron had kind of an idea for a sequel to Maniac Mansion.
But now, I know that I must go back to the mansion.
We started with that and just kind of ran with it.
The name of this new adventure game is...
Tentacle was the first game I was a project leader on, so we were in charge of the show for the first time, Dave and I. We brought up the design and got some programmers to help us with it, and we had a team of just like 3 animators.
Tim Shafer and his team craft another hilarious storyline, this time involving a gang of misfits who travel through time in specially modified porta-potties, known as...
The Chronogen!
Dave and I just kind of ran with it. After we took the characters we liked and then put in the heavy metal band roadie.
Bernard, float over here so I can punch you.
The crazed med student.
What have you done this time, you meddling milk toast?
That game to me was like things that I loved about LucasArts back in the day. Those games were fun. Those games had attitude.
Look, Hoagie, it's a hamster. Just what I need for dissection lab tomorrow.
I think I need that for the band, Laverne. We could bite its head off or whatever.
Something different in the crowd back then.
It was a lot of fun. Day of the Tentacle was one of the most fun ones to make.
Day of the Tentacle has PC gamers in stitches when it's released in 1993. But by now, adventure games are facing a serious decline. LucasArts decides that something must be done to save the genre.
The schedule has been a really hard one to keep, and again, it's a very, very big game. The levels, at least, have been entirely built, and it's clear, I mean, anyone can look on our task list and see that what remains to be done are little polished, devil-in-the-detail bugs.
23. There's 23 bugs in there. No, that's not so bad. Maybe I'm not doing it right. I have to ask Bert a question. Hey, is the bug where if you jump in the air and you palm bomb and then you cancel, that you don't punch when you're on the ground?
Right. You need to be on the levitation wall.
Oh, okay. I think I know what to do. Bert! Okay, you do have to come. Not good, because then you lose your punch. I think that's a bad bug. We gotta fix that.
Nothing whatsoever.
And you died at that?
Yeah, and it took me back, the 6 men.
The fact that, that the bugs are pretty minor for the most part means that we're almost done. Yeah, that's good news.
Okay, so you lost all your lives on the way that you suck.
Yeah, at this stage, like the worst things are, people getting stuck here and there's some place that's really hard to get to.
I can go back to a picture where I've saved it.
You should do that, yes.
Or we have this sound stuttering.
Take your pop.
Agent 9, I'm here for the advanced training.
So we really want to try and catch that stuff.
I don't hear pop.
There's no turning back.
Julie. You fought the demon, killed the demon.
No, I fought the demon and died.
That's a bad bug. Okay.
Alright, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking is we could write a speculative fix for it,
I
but
just hate to change it because all the boss fights could break.
we would want to check it with all of those. Yeah.
We try not to fix bugs unless they're really, really important, because every time you fix a bug, you enter the possibility of causing another bug. So we try not to destabilize code like that. Now that you pointed it out, now I know if they're really important, we fix them and then we check just that area a lot.
We can leave it on the list, write a fix for it, and then see if it's worth it.
Dialogue is very important to me, so I want to get that one right.
Yeah. Well, now I leave it to you to decide. Okay.
Let's see, what causes the bugs? Bugs are caused by small electric gremlins that live in the wiring of old buildings.
And there's no one who can stop him except for you and me.
Oh my god! Let's make out!
That's why we got this modern building here.
There's a glitch, and it's a pretty big glitch.
The year is 1993, and the popularity of adventure games is fading.
We may not live to see yesterday.
This is all your fault, Bernard.
Tentacle actually did better than the Monkey Island games, but they wanted more, and they were just trying to keep adventure games alive in a way, because you could see the market growing and adventure games kind of staying the same size.
So LucasArts calls their developers to revitalize the ailing genre.
They really encouraged us to try new things with the adventure games, and that's where Full Throttle came from. The theory I had at the beginning of that was, you know, our characters so far have been funny, but the joke is mostly on them. It's like characters who are the butt of all the jokes, and you're kind of laughing at yourself when you play it, kind of. And I thought maybe people who were playing adventure games would want to be a character who was actually not a goofball, but cooler than them, and bigger than them, and tougher than them. Could ride a big, huge motorcycle and lead his gang of bikers.
Now there goes some boys I can ride with.
The idea of making a character who was heroic.
Yeah, and you're in my way.
Come on, kitty! Let's get down!
Being cool and tough and something you'd aspire to be. But also stripping down the interface, which is something I was really into. Like, I didn't see any reason why you had to click, you know, up and down on the screen and do these verbs and drag them onto, you know, why not just have this cool little tattoo that pops up wherever you are? Not as many inventory items.
I'm not putting my lips on that.
Just make it a much more streamlined interface and game playing experience.
With Full Throttle, Shafer forges ahead into new territory.
The story of Full Throttle is a little more dark, and some violence happens in it. There's betrayal and all these darker elements to it. It's almost like a little noir story.
You know what might look better on your nose? What? The bar.
I think it was right. That kind of paid off in that game.
Someone did say something about killing you and making it look like an accident. They didn't do too good of a job there.
It was the biggest hit we'd had at that point with the adventure games. It was a huge hit, and I was really happy with that.
After shipping Full Throttle, Shafer is tempted to venture into new territory himself, but the idea doesn't last long.
For a while after Throttle, I was really into Warcraft, and I was going to do a Warcraft game. I remember I was like, I had this idea for one that I wanted to do, and then after working on that for a while, I realized, like, wait, what am I talking about? I make adventure games now.
Shafer's next game will be his final project with LucasArts, and he's going to go out with a bang. As Psychonauts gets closer to completion, the pressure to get the game out the door mounts, but the team believes in their product. And to them, every hard hour is worth it.
This is some of the concept art of Scott Campo, who drew this.
I did all the characters. Here's drawings of all the camp kids in camp. Here's an early drawing of Raz. So here's some other Razes right here. This is what he used to look like. He was this kid with a stocking cap. And we modeled him and put him in the game. He's like kind of baggy pants and baggy jacket and stuff like that. And like he was totally not very limber. And everyone thought he was a girl too.
Because they thought his long stocking cap was a ponytail. It just didn't test well.
We had to go back and redesign it.
It sounded terrible when we first heard about it, 'cause we're like, you want to remodel the main character of the game after we've done all this animation for it. But it's definitely the best thing to do.
This right here is Raz's love interest. Lily is her name. She's cute. She's wearing like a little plaid sweater. She's got little hand stockings, kind of like those kids love in Japan. And she's one of the girls at camp. She doesn't really care about stuff.
Hey, Brainiacs, settle down.
Why? You worried I'm gonna hurt your boyfriend?
No.
She's kind of over it, but she's really amazing psychic.
Duh.
My name is Stephen Peck, and I'm the lead game tester of Psychonauts. Just because Psychonauts have become a huge part of my life, I decided to get a couple of the characters tattooed on my leg.
No! It's not safe!
And it's super exciting for me because I've never seen something I've drawn on somebody's body before.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is so great. No farther, no farther.
I kind of specialize in a lot of the camera controlling. A lot of times we kind of have to adjust the camera to fit the moment.
What?
For instance, if you're in a boss fight with a big boss monster.
The full destructive force of an angry critic.
You kind of want a lower camera to make them look bigger.
Your fighting is weak, uninspired, and flat as a pancake.
Make a tighter FOV to make him look more menacing.
Enough horseplay, Rasputin. Destroy him.
Ah, they got that in. Nice.
Now that we're near the end, we're running short on sleep, but we're almost there. We're all really excited to have it almost out.
Despite Full Throttle success, adventure games continue to decline. Once again, Tim Schafer and his team at LucasArts band together in another bid to turn the tide. To guarantee that this new game will be truly unique, Shafer looks south of the border.
I was often really inspired by art, and I had this book of Day of the Dead, papier-mâché sculpture, and I just love the characters in it because they're these little papier-mâché skeletons, and they had little papier-mâché houses or cardboard houses that they lived in. I just love the idea of seeing a whole town of these people jumping and running around and coming to life.
LucasArts also wants this new game to take advantage of the latest advances in PC technology.
We'd always done 2D games, and 3D was a new hot thing. Everybody, you were lame if you were doing 2D, but I didn't like the way it looked. It always looked like the characters were these cardboard boxes that had been duct taped together. When I looked at these calaveras, these little papier-mâché skeletons, that's like exactly what the texture map technology is we have these days. This is where there's an intersection of technology and art, where it's an art style, not a limitation.
After putting 2 and 2 together, Tim Schafer comes up with Grim Fandango.
The story for Grim Fandango was inspired a lot by Big Sleep, also movies like Glengarry Glen Ross.
I am ready to take you now. Take me? Take me where?
It was this film noir story.
Need to be nervous. Nervous? Just your appearance. It's a little intimidating. Intimidating? Me?
There were sad parts in Grim Fandango that were probably more emotional than most games. Because again, it's about a character you care about.
They don't qualify for anything good, so I can't sell anything good. Can't work off my time, and I'm stuck. Stuck selling walking sticks to a bunch of burros for eternity.
Tim will end up working on Grim Fandango longer than any other game he's done before.
It's funny. Secret of Monkey Island took 9 months to make. Secret of Monkey Island 2 took a year. Day of the Tentacle took a year and then a half to do the voice stuff. Full Throttle took a whole year, which we thought was pretty grueling. And then Grim Fandango took 3 years.
When the game finally ships in 1998, the effort put into it shows.
I played Grim Fandango. My kids actually really loved it too. They called it the Skeleton game. It was one of those games that, like, where does he come up with this stuff? And it was so well written and so well, acted.
Ah, pumped another one. Lousy, bony fingers.
There was a really obvious, passionate dedication to quality. The musicians, just amazing soundtrack, all different music type, all these live instruments, a whole new step of animation that we never tried before. I like to think that people just responded to someone caring that much about a game.
I was a huge Grim Fandango fan. That's definitely on my top 10 list of all time.
We won Game of the Year on GameSpot, and it got really good reviews, and it really stood out for people as a unique title. And it sold pretty well. In some ways, it was right at the end of adventure games, and it came out. People thought it was really good, and they thought it didn't sell very well, so that became this kind of like, well, if it was that good, it didn't sell well, then adventure games must be dead.
Yeah, well, you don't have a tongue, but that doesn't seem to shut you up now, does it?
It made its financial plan, and I got a royalty check from it. It made money, so it's kind of too bad that people remember it that way.
Despite Grim Fandango's success, adventure games continue to wane in popularity.
Ah, cheer up, buddy. Another day, another death. Am I right?
Meanwhile, Tim Schafer will soon make a career-changing decision that will take him on the roller coaster ride of a lifetime. There's just one day left to make sure that Psychonauts is ready to ship. The journey's been hard, and it shows.
No, someone keeps unplugging it. It's probably Tim Schafer.
I'm sure it's Tim Schafer.
The team all looks like they're gonna kill me all the time, and they're pretty surly.
I keep trying to watch TV and he keeps connecting the Xbox. I know.
You're fixing all the bugs and fixing any last-minute touch-up stuff.
It's been hard. My boyfriend proposed to me on a build night, and then he had to bring me back to work.
If you just sit here and stare at the desk for a long time, you can really get migraines and your eyes start to kind of fade. You know, it's just really unhealthy sitting in one place.
This is one of the worst crunches I've ever seen, definitely. Sort of appalling in how intense it is. But the people, you know, they seem to keep their spirits up, joking about at 4 in the morning.
It's time to make the beer and ice cream run.
You're like a bunch of angels.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, this crunch.
At the turn of the century, Tim Schafer makes a drastic change.
After Grimm, I kind of went home for a couple months. Then I came back into work at LucasArts, kind of groggy, and then it started to feel at that point like it would be a good time to maybe try it on our own. So some of the team kind of talked about it, and we wanted to be in control of our own destinies, and then one day we just left.
When he left LucasArts, it was definitely like, whoa, what's going on? You know, everybody wants to start their own company eventually.
So we did.
After more than 8 years at LucasArts, Shafer finally leaves for greener pastures.
It was just kind of a leap of faith.